I'm going to describe a situation and I want you to picture it in your mind. There is a couple. One stays at home looking after the kids, often isolated, walking on eggshells every day. The other is a powerful and respected criminal lawyer, confident, successful, but behind closed doors, controlling, manipulative, abusive. Now stop. Think for a second. Who did you picture as the victim? Who did you picture as the abuser? What if I told you the victim is a man and the abuser is a woman? That's the power of stereotypes. They don't just shape our opinions. They shape whose stories we believe, whose pain we ignore, and who gets justice. I can't take credit for this clever idea. It was brilliantly captured in Lisa Hall's 2016 novel, Between You and Me. It is a psychological thriller that cleverly plays with stereotypes and expectations. The novel follows a seemingly perfect couple, Charlie and Sal, but behind closed doors, their relationship is far from ideal. It explores themes of domestic abuse, control and manipulation, but with a significant twist that challenges traditional gender roles and assumptions about victims and perpetrators. Sal is the stay-at-home parent responsible for looking after the children while also enduring a cycle of abuse. In contrast, Charlie is a highly successful and controlling criminal lawyer who exerts dominance over the household. Throughout the novel, readers are led to assume a conventional dynamic that Sal is the woman suffering at the hands of an abusive male partner. However, in a shocking revelation at the very end, it is revealed that Sal is actually a man, while Charlie is a woman. This twist not only subverts traditional gender stereotypes, but also forces readers to confront their own biases about domestic abuse and power dynamics. By withholding this critical detail until the conclusion, the novel challenges societal assumptions and highlights the often overlooked reality that men can also be victims of domestic violence. It is these assumptions that we should avoid at all costs. Welcome to Spoken Injustice, where we put the criminal justice system in the dock. In today's video, we are introducing our new initiative launched last Thursday, Your Voice Matters. I'll be walking you through the purpose behind this campaign, what we hope to achieve, and how we are using this platform, as it was always meant to be used, to amplify the voices of those who have experienced the harsh reality and inequalities within the criminal justice system. Before we dive in, just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share our content. It helps us reach more people and grow this community as we work toward humanizing the criminal justice system so that it serves people, not rules. When addressing allegations of sexual misconduct and domestic abuse, we must be extremely cautious not to reinforce stereotypes, even if they are statistically common. Relying on generalized assumptions, even subtly, risk overlooking victims who do not fit the expected narrative. These can lead to the dismissal or minimization of cases involving certain genders or groups, ultimately denying them the justice and support they deserve. Treating these instances as mere statistical outliers or casualties along the way is neither ethical nor acceptable. Every case must be assessed on its own merits, free from bias, to ensure fairness and protection for all survivors. Domestic violence and sexual assault are serious crimes that impact individuals across all genders and backgrounds. While society is often more familiar with cases involving female victims, it's important to recognize that anyone, regardless of gender, can be affected by these forms of abuse.
She held my eyes open while she sprayed bleach into them. She assaulted me with a steam iron. She placed it on my left lower arm, on my upper right shoulder and in the middle of my shoulder blades. She boiled a kettle and poured it over my groin, and then whilst I was stuck to a leather sofa writhing in agony, she reboiled that kettle and re-poured it over my groin, and I'd got to the point where I was so mentally ground down I lost almost 25% of my body weight.
Into the room, or I'm going to punch you in the face.
They involve abuse, whether physical, emotional, or sexual, by a partner, a family member, an acquaintance, first date, or someone in a position of power. Victims often face many challenges in seeking justice. Fear, shame, or dependence on the abuser can make it hard to speak out. And when they do, they may struggle to be believed, especially if there is little physical evidence or if the abuser is seen as a respectable person. The legal process can be long, stressful, and sometimes re-traumatizing, with victims having to relive their experiences in court. At the same time, false accusations can ruin lives, making it crucial for the system to be fair to both victims and the accused. Balancing justice means ensuring real survivors get the support they need, while also protecting innocent people from wrongful punishment. The challenge is making sure every case is judged on facts, not stereotypes or biases, so that the truth is always at the center of justice. Although it may seem unthinkable that someone will make false allegations about such a serious and appalling crime, we know that it does happen.
Jordan Trengrove was just 18 when he met Eleanor Williams on Lights Out in Cumbria in 2019.
18 years old, he spent 73 days in jail charged with a crime.
For crimes you didn't commit.
So I was accused of multiple rape and sexual assault. At the time it was 3 counts. By the time that the trial came around, it had risen to 13.
Now, a student who was falsely accused of rape is considering suing the police.
In most cases, false claims arise from motives such as spite, jealousy, or a desire for revenge following a breakup or a conflict. They are particularly common in legal disputes, especially those involving child custody, where false accusations may be used to gain advantage in court. Some individuals fabricate claims to seek attention, sympathy, or social validation, while in other cases false accusations stem from psychological distress, delusions, or underlying mental health conditions. At times, a person may also be pressured or influenced by others to make a false allegation. The consequences of false allegations can be devastating, ruining reputations, careers, and lives. But beyond that, they also harm real victims by causing doubt on genuine cases, making it harder for survivors to be believed. This is why every allegation, whether true or false, must be handled with fairness, diligence, and an unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth. But how do we achieve the balance between supporting victims and upholding fair trial rights without inadvertently doing a disservice to any group? Ensuring fairness means acknowledging patterns and statistical realities without allowing them to dictate individual cases. We must adopt an approach that is both data-informed and case-specific, recognizing broader trends while treating each accusation with impartiality. This requires comprehensive education, unbiased investigative procedures, and a legal system that prioritizes evidence over assumptions. It also means fostering a culture where all victims, regardless of gender or background, feel safe coming forward without fear of being dismissed or disbelieved due to societal stereotype. Striking this balance is challenging, but it is the only way to ensure justice is truly blind and inclusive. Striking a fair balance in cases of sexual offences and domestic abuse is undeniably challenging, but the only way to achieve true justice is by carefully listening to all perspectives and understanding the unique challenges that each individual faces. That's why we have launched the Your Voice Matters initiative, an open platform designed to foster meaningful discussion and drive systemic change. What is this initiative about, I hear you asking? We are reaching out to members of the general public to share their thoughts on the current shortcomings of the system. What do you believe is failing? What changes need to be made? How can we ensure a fairer process for handling these sensitive cases? Your insight can help shape a more just and effective approach. At the same time, we are calling on individuals with direct experience in these matters to share their stories. These include survivors of sexual offences or domestic violence, regardless of gender or ethnicity, who have interacted with the criminal justice system, whether positively or negatively. We're also looking for individuals who have been falsely accused of such offences, again, regardless of gender or ethnicity, and have navigated the legal system in their defence, whether positively or negatively. We understand the sensitivity of these topics, and identities will be protected upon request. In short, if you have navigated the legal system in relation to a sexual assault case, whether as a victim, a wrongful accused person, a legal professional, or an advocate, we would love to hear your perspective. I don't claim to have a definite solution to this deeply complex issue, but there is a growing perception that society has shifted from a time when survivors were frequently dismissed or even blamed for the abuse they suffered, to a present-day stance where allegations are often believed by default in an effort to address historical injustices. This shift is reflected in the Police and Crime Report, which highlights the sexual offences allegations are now expected to be accepted at face value. While this approach is rooted in a desire to support and empower survivors, it also raises important concerns about the weakening of the presumption of innocence, an essential foundation of any fair justice system. While returning to traditional investigative principles where neutrality, fairness, and evidence-based conclusions are at the heart of every case seems like the most natural path forward, we shouldn't rule out the need for alternative approaches. Perhaps this type of cases, given their sensitivity and complexity, require a fundamentally different framework, one that looks beyond the boundaries of the conventional criminal justice system.
Important to understand what the rule of law doesn't mean. The rule of law doesn't mean that every moral or political dilemma and every public issue has to have a legal solution.
We have to remember the criminal justice process rightly demands that we do not automatically side with either the accuser or the accused. Instead, it emphasizes that decisions must be grounded in facts, with both parties given a fair and unbiased hearing. The absence of evidence should not be seen as confirmation that a crime either did or did not happen, but it must still be acknowledged that the burden of proof is a cornerstone of justice. Ultimately, finding a way to both support survivors and protect the presumption of innocence is not just important, it's essential. It's the only way to preserve the fairness, credibility, and integrity of the system for everyone involved. Our goal is to gain a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by both groups, assess whether these challenges are systemic or surmountable, and explore potential reforms that ensure fairness for all involved. Why is this important? We believe that true victims of abuse will never support false accusations, just as those falsely accused will never want to see genuine survivors denied justice. Both groups should be united in advocating against false allegations, as they harm not only the wrongly accused, but also the credibility of real victims. Furthermore, we must improve our ability to differentiate between true and false allegations. This is crucial to ensuring that survivors are not subjected to undue hardship while proving their cases, and that innocent individuals are not unjustly punished. Achieving this level of fairness and accuracy is only possible through honest, open, and informed discussions. Your Voice Matters aims to bridge this gap by creating a space where real experiences and thoughtful perspectives can lead to meaningful change. Would you like to contribute to this conversation? Contact us via our website at www.spokeninjustice.net or email admin@spokeninjustice.net. Even if you do not have direct experience but wish to contribute, please join the discussion in the comments below. Your voice truly matters. Join us again as we sit and rise in this unique trial.